This is part 2. In part 1, I showed you this bait. I actually fished with it, and I asked if anybody knew what it was. I use it fairly often, and it's very effective. I'm surprised how few people know what it is. Let me explain. Hi, my name is Jerry, and I am a twin troller boat owner. There is a popular cable TV fishing show called Timmy Horton Outdoors. While I was watching it one day, he introduced this bait, and he said that after doing that, his fellow professional fishermen were mad at him for exposing the rig. So I decided to try make one and fish with it, and it works pretty well. Now Timmy said the idea for this bait was not his. It was a friend or an acquaintance of some kind, and he called it an MJ rig after his friend. So this rig is normally fished with a bobber stop at the top, then below that is a tungsten sinker. He used a 3/8. They used a 5-inch Ocho, which is a knockoff for Gary Yamamoto Senkos, and then used a 7/0 offset hook, which is quite large, and used at the end of it a screw-in piece that holds the rotating blade at the bottom to the bait. This one's kind of chewed up. I've been fishing with it, catching fish with it. So there's a swivel right here, and then a small either size 2 or size 3 blade here. Let me show you how I rig it, and I'll show you how he did it. A swivel, a small split ring, and a size 2 or a size 3 blade. This is a 2. And I'll show you how this rigs. Now I do this with a lighter weight. I use a same hook you see here, and everything else is pretty much the same. Let me talk for a second about hooks. Timmy says use a 7/0 hook. This is a huge hook. Now, this is made by Gamakatsu. If I was to put this here, it really would overwhelm this bait, I believe, because you're going to cut off this tail. This is going to be too big, I think. So I don't use this one, and I don't want it to stick out that much. Now, this hook is an offset hook just like this is. However, this is a what's usually considered to be a worm hook. This hook is made by Eagle Claw. It's the same hook that I have right here. And this is a 2.5/0. This other one is a 7/0. It's huge. But my point is, depending on the brand, the size may not be the same. The 7/0 may not be the same size in a Gamakatsu as it is in an Owner, as it is in an Eagle Claw. So you can't go by the number as much as you got to look at the hook and make sure that's what you really want. Now, I use this hook because I just think that one's too big for my application. If I was really expecting to get some big fish, I may wind up using that. As far as tungsten sinkers go, Timmy has this as a 3/8. This is a 3/16. That's what is on this one. The brand doesn't make any difference. They're pretty consistent as far as weight and size. But a tungsten sinker is much smaller in size than a lead one is. So I use the tungsten. It goes through the water easier. Now this Senko style bait, the plastic, is a wave worm. That's the brand that I have. Happens to be what I have here. However, this is a Gary Yamamoto 5-inch Senko. That's the same thing. Now, if you're going to use or want to use a much larger rig, here is a 7-inch Senko, also made by Gary Yamamoto. But this brand is particularly expensive. You're not going to use this bait like you would one of these for throwing it as a normal Senko. So anything in that shape, any brand, would do what we're trying to do here. This is a weighted brand product. We're cutting it off, put a tail on it. You're kind of wasting your money on something like that, but if you got them and you want to use them, feel free. Now, on that same issue of plastic baits, one day on eBay, these are just rebagged by me, and there were plenty more to begin with. I found somebody who makes Senko style baits, and he sold them by bulk. As a matter of fact, these are overruns. When they're making this color on a commercial machine, it takes a while to stop the thing, and so if they're trying to make 100 of these or 1,000 of these, there's always extras. And he throws them in a pail, he said. When he gets done, he sells them. I don't really remember who he was, but it was very inexpensive to buy these. And these work just fine. They work just fine as using them as any Senko would be. Let me talk just for a second about the bobber stops. Those go on the line in front of the bait. The purpose of it is to keep the sinker together with the bait, just like this. Now, what are they? Where do you get them? You can buy these at Walmart. Eagle Claw sells them. They're not too expensive, but let me give you a tip about where to get them at a better price. See these? Look familiar? Came right out of that package. eBay. Bobber stops. These are also bobber stops that I have from eBay. These are cylindrical as opposed to oval shaped like these. These are more of a softer rubber. These are a little bit harder rubber, but they're narrower, so they let you slide through things better sometimes. I do like this style much better than I like these. And they come in different sizes. I don't know if you can see in the package. See the smaller ones, and then you can see the larger ones. And you can buy them just that way. These are the larger ones. Or they may even be the mediums. There's 3 sizes. But these are just a couple of dollars for like 100 of these, or 500 of these. You can buy them so inexpensive. eBay. So what is this thing? What does this do? Well, this attaches to here and holds the plastic. This literally screws right into the plastic, holds this, attaches to this barrel swivel. The split shot attaches the barrel swivel to the blade. Well, these are probably the most expensive component here, especially if you get plastics someplace like I did that's very inexpensive. Of course, the tungsten sinkers aren't cheap either, but I buy hooks on eBay, I buy baits, I buy the components, but I don't remember where I bought these. These are, let me see if I can hold this up. This is a keeper that keeps the bait on. It has a pin down the center to let you put it through the plastic, keeps it lined up, and then as you screw it in, it goes in. without that little pin down the middle, sometimes they're difficult to get in. But not that you can't, I have some of those too, but these allow you to go in a little bit easier. And I'm going to show you what you do. You're going to, assuming you've got this together, you're going to put this on and twirl it all the way to the bottom. So this is now down here, okay? Then you're going to cut off about 1/2 inch of this or so. You can take a pair of scissors, cut it off, or in the field, out on the water, I just bite it off, but let me just do this to show you. Cut it off. Now you got this attached. Take this, stick it right in the middle, screw it in just like a corkscrew. Just hold the plastic so it doesn't keep turning until you get it all the way in. And there you go. Now you've got this attached to the bottom of the bait. This particular one is pretty close to looking like this one. I make these myself. I make those little things, and I'm going to show you here in a minute how to do it yourself. Very easy, very inexpensive, and you can make as many as you want, have them whenever you need them. So to this hitchhiker or screw lock, whatever you want to call it, you're going to attach a barrel swivel. Just put it on the end and twist it. Till it gets on the bottom. There you go. Okay. The barrel swivels you can buy from various sources. This one is a crane swivel from Bass Pro Shops. These are from Netcraft. KVD gets into the picture with Mustad. You can buy them all over the place. Generally what I'm looking for is a size 10. Put it on the blade first. It just makes it easier to me. Catch it, twist it, till you get it all the way on. There you go. Okay. Now I'm going to find that opening again, catch it a little bit back, take my split ring, get it caught, and then just work it around. Until I get it all the way. Now, in the boat, I have them rigged just like that, many of them. If I'm on foot, I've usually got a pocket full of them. That way, the plastic gets ripped. The bass has got this in his mouth. He's shaking his head. Oftentimes, see how this is kind of torn here already? What happens is, boop, this flies through the air and it disappears. All you got back is a fish on the end of the hook, which is what you're trying to do. You got part of a bait. So now you have a fish, a bait, no tail. So let's re-rig this. Pull the bait off, get a new bait, bite off the end or cut it like we did. Just go dead center down the middle. Doesn't make any difference where on the worm. It doesn't make a difference whether it's turned this way or that way, because this is round, and just come straight out the side. Then I wet it, bring it up, turn it around so it's now on the shoulder. Okay, so I got a hook with a sinker in the front, a bobber ahead of that, brand new bait. Just kind of make sure it's straight, mark it with your thumb, make sure it's in the place where you want it to go, stick it in. Okay? But we still got to attach this. Stick the pin right down the middle. Oh, my hands are not in the way too much. Screw it in. Just try to get it in straight. Get it in as far as you want to get it. And now you're ready to go again. This is quite straight, and let it to go. Now how do you fish this? Well, I am fishing this on 15-pound braid on a bait caster. That's a pole that this is attached to right now. You can up north use braided line, and if you're concerned about too clear of a water, just take some fluorocarbon line like this. This happens to be Bass Pro Shops. I like this brand, but I use other ones. And attach this to the end of this so that you have fluorocarbon just leading into the bait at the end. So how do I make that screw lock at the end? I'm going to go out to the garage and set up what I do, and then I'll start recording again to show you. You can use this in a lot of applications. This video is already long, so I'm going to hold off and do the part where I am making the screw locks or hitchhikers in the garage to be in part 3. If you like my video, feel free to subscribe. Just push that button in the corner. Or give me a thumbs up. Or share it with your friends. And don't forget to leave some comments or questions on the bottom. Thanks for watching.